The Buschy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to the Buschy and Bobo Show. It's episode 41.
41.
That looks like 14 to me, bud.
There we go.
Nailed it. And you might notice it's been a while since Bobo and I have done a pod. And that's kind of not really by design because we did an episode 41, did we not?
We did, but then, our technical support team, they weren't on the ball there, and shit happened.
The audio did not record.
So we had to gas it. We talked about a lot of stuff, and like it had been a while since like the one before. I don't even know when it would be.
Yeah,
but
episode 40, and then who knows how long it's been, and stuff from the previous 41 recording is no longer relevant. Then
there's a few things that it was just like, why are we talking about this? It happened like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
But one thing that is still relevant is the Vancouver Canucks are a fucking wagon.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I don't get it.
Yes, sir.
You're a Canucks fan.
Yeah.
Walk me through what the hell is happening, because like they didn't make the playoffs last year and there wasn't anything crazy in terms of like signings and stuff, right? Like they largely went in with the same squad. Am I right?
Part. Yeah, for the most part. My big like guy who I've been really surprised with is Dakota Joshua.
Never heard of him.
Well,
guy's got two first names.
Exactly, right?
Who is this guy?
He's a state, and he's on the second line right now because he was a fourth liner. And he's just been playing amazing. He's up there on that second line here. And off.
Teddy Bluger is on your second line.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Let's see this.
But look going down Vancouver's roster here. Look at their points. Like the big names that are all at the top, right? JT Miller, Pettersson, Hughes, Besser.
And this is after 43 games, just kind of halfway point. So it's like this is their pace. Like JT Miller is on 120 point pace.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Pettersson as well. Quinn Hughes is on pace for 100 points. Besser
for
same.
90. Then like one that surprised me, like Hronik.
That doesn't surprise me. And I want to ask you about him after, but we'll keep going down the list here.
Mikheyev, I would wish to see a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, but
wasn't he like the soup guy in Toronto? He was always like he liked soup. That's all he ate.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah,
Dakota Joshua, 11 goals, 9 assists,
a point every other game.
Yeah, is like a guy that I've never heard of. Interesting.
And he's still scrappy here with the penalty minutes and all that. 3 game-winning goals though.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my God, Pettersson is 8. Oh, shit.
Pettersson's
unbelievable.
Pretty good.
That's clutch. I would say that.
But then you go
Lafferty, Kuzmenko, Myers.
Like
there's a guy on there that was on the wings last year, Pius Suter. I think he is one of the best defensive players in the league, and I'm a little bit upset that the Wings didn't bring him back because I think he's a big part of he's not putting up a ton of points. He's only played 29 games, but like he's a good defensive player too.
But everyone plus all everyone's in the no, Nola Yulson isn't, but
and look at the goaltending has been like it's not amazing.
No, what did I do there?
Google Chrome help, but it's not amazing. Like 250 is kind of like Demko and DeSmith in the middle. The save percentage is the same. Right. I mean, Demko's played 31 games. That it's showing that they've been scoring a lot.
Yeah,
that's what that's showing.
Which I don't understand, like where this was last year, because it's sort of the same, like I said, same roster coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few tweaks there. Maybe that's all they needed, and the coaching change. It's
well, who's their coach? Is it Talkett?
Talkett,
yeah. So it's a full season of talk, and hey,
I'm not going to put the cart before the horse here, because they were like this with Boudreau too, right? They were ahead of the game with Boudreau. There had the Bruce. There it is, the winning streak and all that, but it is a little it's a little exciting here, not gonna lie. And when February 10th comes around, we'll see what happens there.
What happens February 10th, Brian?
We're going to be going to a nice little Vancouver Detroit game there down in the Dirty D.
Do you remember what happened last year?
But yeah, George.
Yeah, George happened, but also didn't the Wings smack him around pretty good?
Yeah.
I think they did. I think they did. Because you were wearing your Pavel Bure skate logo, spaghetti skate, and I think I had my old Iserman. So I've been going through an absolute what I would say, maybe like every single game, it's like a slalom of jerseys. I haven't worn the same one twice. Like every time I go, because I got a 10-game plan, right? So it's like every single time I'm like, hey, I'm just going to wear a new one. Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Well, that's something like I haven't even talked about that on the Red Wings report, is all the like jerseys that I had redone. Or stripped a bunch down, like got them redone. And I've been wearing those because now I'm like, oh, cool, a jersey that is actually wearable. Like from, Datsuk, Zetterberg, those guys, Lidstrom, I can wear those now. And it was like fantastic work. So
rather than wearing an Anthony Mantha or
I'm never going to wear an Anthony Mantha.
Gus Nyquist or.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? I want to pull up right now just the NHL standings. It's telling me system preferences, bro.
I can pull it up if you need.
Yeah, pull it up. I don't know why this is being dumb, but you just pull them on up. There we go.
There we go. We got the screen up here. Yeah, league standings. Vancouver, like you said, just absolutely on a wagon right now. 5-game winning streak, like 7-2-1.
Here's the question that I want to ask you. Is there something here that's not sustainable?
I don't see why what would change. Like
the goal scoring.
Like from the games that I have seen, it's
because that's a lot of goals. They're scoring plus 55. That's really good differential. Home record is really good. Away record's pretty good too. So it's not like there's any, they're crap on the road or something, right?
No.
And they're consistently good in the last 10 there, 7-2-1, Winnipeg.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Winnipeg there.
Winnipeg is, I don't know how the hell they're good either. They changed their coach and they have like the same players. Like, figure that out. I have no idea. I mean, Boston, I don't want to say they've cooled off, but they started incredibly hot. Yeah. And the only 2 losses they had were against the Red Wings. Remember that in regulation? Colorado up there. Panthers, I mean, I thought that maybe they'd be a team that would not be as good. I know they made the final last year, but I had them as like a wild card team maybe because that's what they were going into the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Rangers, Stars, Hurricanes, Golden Knights, those are all the ones that are kind of the usual suspects. The Flyers. I had them bottom 3.
Yeah, there's nothing good in Philly.
I mean, they got Torts. That's another thing we can talk about. Cutter Gauthier. Did you see what happened with him?
That was the trade you were telling me, right?
Yeah, this trade happens with like the 5th overall pick last year, Cutter Gauthier. And he like requested a trade. He said he wouldn't play for the Flyers. He gets traded to Anaheim for Jamie Drysdale in a second. It's like, did you not want to play for Torts? Did you not like the management? Like, you still don't really know. And then for some reason, Kevin Hayes got brought into the whole thing, which I'm like, I don't really understand that either. But what a bizarre, like the Flyers are the weirdest team because, yeah, they got 52 points and like they're in a playoff spot. And I didn't see that coming because who do they have? Name their best player.
Well, according to this, it's Travis Konecny.
Exactly. They don't really have that star power. So it's like, I think it's a Torts effect. And you've gone through it where like he'll get a team going for that like first year until the message runs thin because that's when everything goes to shit, right? So I think that's maybe what's happening with the Flyers is they got the Torts effect. They're playing hard, but at one point, I think the wheels will fall off,
and then they're back to reality, which should be that bottom 5 team.
Yeah, and then another stat that I think I saw, and I don't know if I can back this up, the Maple Leafs. They got 21 wins, but I think only 8 of them have been regulation. Something insane like that, like their overtime record. Is that up here? Not really. Shootout overtime. Go down. No, that's a lie. So whoever did that was a joke. 4-1.
That's probably just a shootout.
That's a shootout and overtime.
Oh,
I think 4 shootout wins, 1 overtime, maybe.
no, because it would be 8 overtime losses right here.
Home and away, they got 8.
8 overtime
So
losses. So that's got
I'm
to be just shootout.
that maybe that's just the wins.
No, it's home or wins loss OTLs.
Oh, you're saying like that's their shootout and overtime record right there?
I think this is just shootout.
Really? But
Yeah,
why wouldn't it have overtime in there too? I don't know. That's
because
the
you don't.
NHL for you. They don't have any good stats. I have no
Yeah,
clue.
but
But like the Leafs, they are still the same flawed team they've been for the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, that Nylander contract, good for him. He deserved that. But
yeah,
at the same time, like they have no like how are they gonna have any flexibility? Until Tavares is off the books or like they make some bold move and they get rid of maybe Marner or something like that, right? Which they won't. So they've kept the big boys in here. So they have like $34,000 in cap space. Like Jets this year, playing the Wings tonight. But you got Matthews forever at 13.25 next year. You got
another year though.
Tavares. Yeah,
Bears
another
and
year
that, yeah,
Tavares is at 11, which is bananas. I didn't realize he was that high. If he wants to come back, you say you're taking 1.5 or hit the road, dude. Like you can't make anything.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
because he's not the same John Tavares anymore. He'll probably make something around the four. I can see, but
yeah.
it's
So this is interesting. It's saying I have 10 minutes left. I have to upgrade. So let's we got 10 minutes to wrap this up.
10 minutes. All right, let's.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's just the two of us, but
Yeah,
yeah, anyway, we'll say that's kind of how it is. I know my Wings are like kind of fighting for a playoff spot. The guys at the bottom, the funniest thing is the Senators being terrible. I
yeah.
think that's funny just because that's something that in the offseason they were talking a lot of shit. So
Thinking everything was going to go well, but oh well. It is. It
yeah,
is what it is.
I say we were gonna go through like the all-star rosters, but I don't know if anyone really gives a shit about that because it's voting. Like, I don't think there should be voting. It's not the actual best players this year in the game. There's some guys that won't be there just because
I love the voting for
we need
Canucks.
we need one from every team. It's like, do you? Because who's gonna replace Connor Bedard? Nobody. Who Dickinson or like I don't want to see him in an all-star game like
Taylor
at all.
Hall.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he's dead for the year. So, um, did you? One question I wanted to say, and I just thought of this.
Okay.
Have you noticed the animated boards lately when you watch games?
I it's something I still do notice,
I
but
haven't noticed it. Every time I watch a game now, I completely forget about it
like I'll
because
see
it's
one advertisement on there, and then I'll see the other one, but it's not like, oh, it's not as distracting.
mhm.
But I still do notice it.
Yeah, it's something like I noticed it during like the World Juniors just because there wasn't like ads. It was just like it was moving all around a lot. But this brings me to my next point. Did you care about the World Juniors at all this year?
I haven't been invested in the World Juniors in a couple of years now. I'm
Me
not gonna
too.
lie.
The Bedard thing last year, I kind of was because I was like, okay, this kid's really good, and they ended up winning gold.
Yeah,
But I didn't care at all this year. You know what I think some of it is? It was overseas, and the timing of the games was just really weird. Where it was like, I'd rather watch the game at 7 p.m. rather than 1 p.m. Like I don't want to sit down and like watch a World Junior game with players I don't really care about. And like Nate Danielson played, like he's a wings pick for Canada, but I wasn't like when they lost, I was like, all right, whatever. Like moving on. I
but
wasn't
that
really rooting for
stretch
them.
from '06 to '09 there, that was like, or '05 to '09. Like
But that's when we were kids. That's when it actually was like
that's
cool and it mattered. And like now I'm
that
like, these guys are like
that's
17 years old, like whatever.
I'm 34. Do I really care how good a
No.
17-year-old's doing now? No.
And I'm not sitting down to watch the stuff because the thing is like they didn't have their best players. Like Bedard's still of age, and this happens every year with Canada. But like what I've noticed is their goaltending every year is kind of like, who the hell is this? It's like a 7th round pick, a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Canada goaltending is in a lot of trouble. Like right now, if we had an Olympic team today, who's going to start for Canada?
God, I don't know.
because like the States have a few options. Like Connor Hellebuck probably would be the guy.
Hellebuck, Demko.
He's elite. Demko. You got like two amazing goalies right there. But think about Canada. I can think of like one guy. Like,
and then the States also have Ottinger.
they have three awesome goalies. Canada has like Carter Hart. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, Bennington. They don't have any elite goalies.
No.
Think of back when there was the Luongo and Price and Fleury era, right?
Even before that, when you had
Brodeur, Patrick Waugh,
yeah,
Cujo, Eddie Belfour. Like, you had all of these studs to pick from, and now all of a sudden we got nothing. Because I was looking at that, like the Olympic teams, what they could look like. And I got to tell you, I think the States might take that in a one game, because like Canada has a lot of forward depth. Defense is okay. Goaltending, they don't win that battle. And the States has a lot of firepower too. Their defense looks amazing too.
Whit was saying that on Spit and Chicklets, that if it came to it right now, it's probably it takes 9 out of 10 or whatever over Canada.
I don't think 9 out of 10. That's ridiculous. I'd say like 6 of 10 maybe. I think it's a coin flip still, but they have a very good team.
But I think it starts in net, and I think you're right there where the States does have that advantage.
Yeah, it's been so long since we have had a best on best tournament. I don't think this World Championship thing, or the World Cup or whatever it's called, it's 4 teams. It's Canada, USA, Finland, and Sweden. It's like, that's not all the best players. Like,
no.
And another thing too that I think, going back to the World Juniors, there's no Russia. How can you have World Juniors without them? Like, they've done it now, and it's not the same, because it always felt like Russia was kind of the villain. Like, nobody wanted them to win type of thing. Now there's the Czechs and the Finns and the whatever. Like, there's no animosity really. Even Canada, USA, I haven't really felt that like they want to kill each other. Or they want to it doesn't feel like that anymore. It used to. Like the 2002 final, like that was awesome, right? Obviously Canada won, but all the stars in that game, and they were playing hard. Like, that was fun to watch. Haven't had that. McDavid hasn't been in a legit best on best tournament as a professional yet. Isn't that crazy? Like, we haven't seen it.
They haven't. You're right.
So like, I'd like to, but I doubt that that's going to happen, because Gary Bettman needs to, make his millions or billions or whatever. And yeah, that's all that we got. So we have 4 minutes left. You got anything you want to talk about? Yeah, man.
Yeah, 4 minutes, eh? So
I always thought that this was like free with 2 people.
I thought so too.
So I'm not paying for more.
No, and you know what? Maybe a shorter one isn't so bad.
Shorter one's not so bad. Just coming back from it,
Come getting our feet wet.
We're twins here, man. We got so much of the powder blue.
The powder blue going on.
Yeah.
The buckets.
We're looking good, man.
Yeah.
I said I could change the background and people wouldn't even know who we are. They'd be like, "Oh, that's just they're the same,"
There.
I can't make my beard blacker. I can't do anything about this mug either.
No, you're sort of stuck on these mugs, eh?
Oh, real quick. I know this is Red Wings topic, but Patrick Kane, if you were the Red Wings, what would you do? Like, going forward? Like, even if you're like, would you try to move him at the deadline, or would you think
if you're in contention there, then you brought him in for a reason, right?
Of course. So I think like that's why I kind of want them to keep winning, so they're in the conversation, because he's been so good for this team. I want them to sign him for like a couple more years. I would do it now, because he's shown that he's back. He's good.
He's been a nice fit.
He really has.
It's that chemistry, like him with DeBrincat there. It's
they've been playing well.
Nothing's lost there, and if they're still in the hunt near deadline, you keep them. Then you try to buy something.
Even if they're not, I feel like I want to bring them back, because to me, I'd let Perron go, and Kane can be that kind of older veteran.
Yeah,
that's on the team that's still producing, because Perron was that, and he kind of still is, but he's lost a step. And I think Kane's one of those guys that doesn't need a ton of the speed. Like, he scored that breakaway goal yesterday, where he turned on the Jets a little bit. Like, he does it selectively. He doesn't have to be flying around. He's a smart player. You need a few of those guys, and I think I'd rather have him than than
You got
Perron.
David Perron there.
Yeah, so
which makes
I would
sense.
bring
You
him
only
back.
need one of those guys. You only need one of them, so why not?
I would do it now. I would give him like probably 3-4 mil for the next few years. That's just my gut feeling, is that this is working, and I would do whatever I can to bring him back. And I really do believe he wants to be here because he chose to come here, right?
I see him coming back. I can see him definitely coming back.
I would love him to come back. And the thing is like, you know me, the Blackhawks, I'm not a Patrick Kane. I was never a Patrick Kane guy because I hate the Blackhawks. But now that he's on our team, I love the guy. Like he's been great. So anyway, hey, it was nice to actually get one done.
Nice.
Hopefully there's no audio issues or anything like that. We went back to the Zoom call because before we did it in the studio there, and it didn't work.
We went back
the way we wanted. Back to the roots, right? So yeah, episode 41 in the books. Hopefully we'll won't have that big of a gap in between next time, but this is the easiest way to do it. So maybe this is the way that we'll have to do, just hop on and do this once in a while and kind of get back to it, because like we got to get to Hundo episode soon.
We do. Let's just get to 50 first and then go from there.
Sounds good. All right, guys, until next time, it's Buschy and Bobo signing off. Talk to you soon.
Wear your drawers.